Good morning readers. I, Harish Budu, warmly welcome you to my channel. Learn as much as possible from my handwritten articles. This 3rd of July 2021 opinion paper. Open letter to Navin Ramgoolam. Part 2. 1. Hello, Navin. This is the second part of the series of open letters addressed to you, Navin Ramgoolam. I could well have talked to you directly, instead. But knowing you from close since 1991, that would have been a waste of time. It would have been water on taro leaves, casting pearls before swine, or still teaching the public morals to a drunkard and womanizer. 2. Sorry, bear with me with a long introduction. These letters are written by someone who has refused to meet you since 2012, who is still a Sir Navin Ramgoolam Labourite, who was discovered by Sir Navin Ramgoolam in the early 1970s. As a powerful organizer at grassroots level, and a forceful and eloquent orator, and a born selfless and self-sacrificing social worker, who was elected from Sualak, revered as Angers constituency on a Labour Party platform, who sacrificed the posts of Parliamentary Secretary in 1976 and Government Chief Whip in 1977. Just to save Sir Navin Ramgoolam and the Labour Party, who was campaigned against a fraud, corruption, Labour Party hijackers, and blackmailers, and who won the scalps of the 2 Labour Party ministers, whilst 2 of the most corrupt ones escaped justice, who was expelled from the Labour Party, who had united the whole country against the abuses of Sir Navin Ramgoolam into a Gandhian-style 22nd of June 1979 civil disobedience, who had helped me to defeat both Sir Navin Ramgoolam and the Labour Party in June 1982, whilst in alliance with the Mauritian militant movement, who had protected and saved Sir Navin Ramgoolam on 13th of June 1982, and on many, many other occasions, who had helped and rescued under a juggernaut in 1982, 1983, 1987, 1995, 2000, 2014, 2019, etc., and that at untold personal and family sacrifices, who had brought Sat Kambulel and others back into the Labour Party fold in mid-1983, who had cemented the militant social movement, Labour Party, Party Militant Social Democrat Alliance, and led it to victory in August 1983 elections, who gave up his post of Deputy Prime Minister in favour of Gayat Anshaval, and who was the organizer, the shock absorber, the cement, the father figure to help the country to remarkable economic recovery, who was instrumental in the 1983 appointment of Sir Navin Ramgoolam ad Laura Dewey, who had often rescued Sir Navin Ramgoolam from your repeated beastly abuses against his person, who again helped another Labour Party member in 1986, to become Governor-General. Sir Navin, who had campaigned against you in the elections of 2000, 2010, 2014 and 2019, who worked with you from 2005 to 2014. From outside, to help many victims of the society, especially those of assailed by Levi, who was arrested by your police in 1999, 2000, 2009, and who was hounded and harassed relentlessly by your private militia, the Voice of Hindu, who did not hesitate to raise the alarm and draw your attention to your own excesses and extremes and those of Nandini Saurnak, and others. The 3 articles of Sunday Vani in 2005 are all proof positive, who had refused your proposal in 2012. At Katraj, born of being your senior, most Prime Minister's office advisor, or the Secretary General of your Labour Party, and who in the twilight of his life is trying to help you, to look around, to learn from your past and horrible mistakes, to take history's rearview mirror of 2014 and 2019 as a salutary lesson, to take anti-Navin Ramgoolam ground realities into consideration, to understand that you should now quit the Labour Party for good and old and save Sir Navin Ramgoolam's Labour Party. Am I not trying to wake up a dead man? That said, I again apologize for the long opening remarks, but we have already covered adequately so much ground. 3. In politics, people have a tendency to compare and contrast before deciding. If so, You Navin Ramgoolam are no match to the current Prime Minister Pravin Jagnnath. You are but a dwarf, a pygmy, baby, a bonsai and a pint-sized leader or administrator when compared to that giant banyan tree. I am not biased, neither against you or no for Pravin Jagnnath. I am just painting the real picture as it was, as it is and as it will be till the planet exists. Truth hurts. 4. A naked, painful and honest truths, sting and pain awfully in public eyes. Pravin Jagnnath outruns outrights and outshines you, Navin, by far. And in the eye of the government top officials, Pravin Jagnnath again outgrow and outdistanced you, Navin Ramgoolam, by far. And in the eye of history, Pravin Jagnnath again outflanked and outmaneuvered by far. And that bitter and dreadful truth is discussed and shared, though very, very discreetly and hush-hush, by many of your own Labour Party, Politburo members. You had better believe it. 5. All told, listed below are but a few comparisons, though they do not reflect any order of chronology or priority. A. Time management. Navin Ramgoolam is known to be the worst of the lot. His expensive Rolex watch serves no purpose. His British education has no meaning. He never had any sense of time. His real life as Prime Minister started at 11 p.m. to end up at 3 a.m. He woke up after 9 a.m. He was never in time. People, civil servants, diplomats, and so many others had to wait for 2 hours at times. He spent hours with people of his milieu in his office, but had no time to receive his ministers, top officials and others. Ministers waited for 6 months to have an appointment. One waited 14 months in 1995, 1996. Hundreds of dossiers were not looked after. When Paul Berenger became acting Prime Minister in 1995, promotions, recruitments, transfers, important state decisions etc. all took a battering. Many United Nations-funded scholarships were lost. International conferences were not attended. Hundreds of important dossiers were dormant or gathering dust. The racial tensions of February 1999 following the tragic death of Popular Sega singer Kaya in police cell were mainly due to Navin Ramgoolam's inaction in dismissiveness and bad time management. And then Navin Ramgoolam has proved to be the worst politician, the most rotten leader as far as timekeeping is concerned. That has been his downfall and his destruction of Sirsi Wusaga Ramgoolam Labour Party. In sharp contrast, Pravin Jagnnath is reputed to be a strict disciplinarian. As far as time management is involved, Pravin Jagnnath is just the opposite of Navin Ramgoolam. Files never collected dust in the Prime Minister's office. Pravin Jagnnath is known to be a hard worker. He respects time. Here Navin Ramgoolam here. B. Corruption. Both Navin Ramgoolam and Pravin Jagnnath kif, evenly matched. But the Betamax inquiry and Navin Ramgoolam 20+ international credit cards will establish him as the most corrupt Prime Minister of Africa. Smell a rat. See, family life and values. Navin Ramgoolam has proved to be the worst immoral politician. A few ministers had slapped him because he had misbehaved with their wives and daughters. Sonak was only one among many dozens of women. Honest Labour Party members never invited him in their homes if their mothers, grandmothers, wives, and daughters are young. In stark contrast, Pravin Jagnnath is a family man in public eyes. To be continued. Keep reading, keep learning. Like and subscribe for more thrilling articles. Thank you for watching.